Good morning everybody and welcome back to my channel. As you know, I normally do videos on demonstrating and messing around with UHF and VHF radios. Today's going to be slightly different in that today's unboxing and demonstration is going to be on a PTT mobile telephone, mainly used on the Zello network. Let's have a look what we've got here. This came through the post a couple of days ago. I've had a chance to play with it now. And I wanted to give you a bit of an insight as to what you get and how they work and sort of how well they work. I'm not going to try and fool you into making out that this is the first time of opening it, because that'd be absolute nonsense. But basically you get it in a simple package just like this. It came all the way from China. It took just over a week, so I was quite impressed with the time. The handset just comes basic as it is, like so. You lift the inner part of the box out, and then you've got some accessories. Now the thing I like about this is that the radio, or the telephone, is actually charged via USB. So the lead it comes with is your standard. Can I focus in there? I don't know. Yeah, there you go, it's a little standard USB. So it's quite handy, and the battery life is fantastic as well, so you don't need to keep it on charge all the time. But basically this is what you get. You get the battery, it just pulls off like so. This one claims to be a 3500 mAh battery, 4.2 volts. Inside, I might as well show you now whilst it's open. We've got 3 slots. We've got a 3G SIM card slot. We have a 2G SIM card slot down there, and a slot there for a little memory card if you want to do your own extension or expansions of memory. So that's what that's all about. I have in here a 3G SIM card. I'm using giffgaff at the moment, purely because I have a spare giffgaff SIM card, and I'm quite impressed with the coverage because that works on the O2 network, which is quite popular around this part of the world. So the aerial, it's a little stubble aerial that just screws in like so, and then to power it on, press and hold the power button, and it comes up with radio tone. Now I always have the battery connectors, the belt clips connected. I always like to have it clipped onto something. Helps me not lose it, I guess. The USB charger and the adapter they give you here, this is 1000 milliamps, so it's like a 1 amp charger. I don't actually have to use that because I've got that many of these chargers already dotted around the house. It's not being needed, plus the fact that I've only had to charge it once since I've had it. But anyway, so this basically runs off the Android operating system. It is effectively a smartphone. I mean, that's basically what you have here. It's a smartphone that's a little bit bulkier, that's got a push-to-talk button on the side. It's also got a camera and an SOS button, but primarily the main thing is it is a smartphone. And as any Android phone, you can go onto Play Store and download any particular apps that you want. So it comes very basically programmed and pre-installed with your settings, your people, your phones, your messaging. I put Skype on myself, I put Zello on, giffgaff, Chrome I've installed myself. But it has the gallery, the videos, file manager and the camera, calendar, Play Store, calculator, all the usual stuff you'd expect. Now this is one of the older Android operating systems. This is actually version 4.4.2. Now I know that they give them a lot of names nowadays, don't they? But I don't know what it is, I'll be honest. But that's the version, it's 4.4.2. And obviously you're not really in a position to upgrade it. It's not a very good smartphone. It's very, very basic. It's quite a slow processor in this. It can't handle too much. It can do YouTube. It can do Spotify. I have a CCTV app, which it really kind of struggles with. Wouldn't recommend it. But again, eBay and Maps, they work quite well on it. So, you know, it's not a bad phone. As a telephone itself, it's really clear. It's very, very loud. It's very clear, and you do feel like you've got a very good sturdy phone when you're using it. So I do like using this as a telephone. But the second part of this phone, like I said, is going to be the radio aspect, the Zello. So clicking on Zello, and there we go. It brings up the app, and it works any way that your telephone will. I know iPhone, their operating system, and Android, the layout of the format's slightly different on Zello, but not that much difference. But you'd get to figure out how to use it. So there you go. So once you've been using it effectively, you can. I'll just give you a quick demonstration. If I just get my my iPhone, which I've got another account connected to. 1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2.
There we go.
1 2 1 2. There we go.
So that comes out of the iPhone. If I just open up the app on here, just to show you. Testing 1 2. Bit of a delay there. Testing 1 2.
Testing 1 2.
So we're working. So once you've made contact with the person, you can actually close down the screen and just fasten onto your belt and continue doing your work or whatever you're doing. And as soon as you want to call someone or someone wants to call you, you just press it in. Wait for the beeps. 1 2.
Beeps. 1 2.
And vice versa. Someone replying to you would just key in the button.
Key in the button.
And that works. And the thing I like about it is the screen doesn't come on every time you use it, because that would drain the battery down a little bit, and sometimes you just don't want the distraction of the screen on anyway. But if you want to have it on, you can bring it back to life, and it's on the screen. And the other thing is, if you want to use not that side button, but you want to use the screen button, like so, you can do. I'm calling it a radio. It's not a radio, is it? It is a mobile phone. It is using Zello. But there you go. So we've got cameras on this little device then. So if I power it up, clear that screen away. We have two cameras, a front-facing camera and a rear-facing camera. I've just passed it. There we go. Not very good. The rear-facing camera, you've got one just there. That's a 5 megapixel camera. Now, I'm not sure what this front one is here. I'm assuming it's going to be probably the same. We can alter it around, and there you've got the front-facing camera. Camera quality is not amazing, but then again, for an old Android phone, you wouldn't expect too much anyway, would you? But it also does video as well. Again, not that amazing, but that's not really what it's for. If you look back to one of the first smartphones that came out, that is pretty much the quality that you're going to be looking at getting for this. So all in all, I've used it for a couple of days now. Very impressed with it. The battery life, like I say, I've had it on charge once. It only needed charging for about 10 minutes because the battery came pretty much charged anyway. And for the last sort of 2 to 3 days, as you can see by the screen, the battery indicator in the top, there we go, it's pretty much still full. So there you go. You can get accessories for this phone as well. I'm not sure on the cost at the moment, a lot of these accessories. I say a lot of these accessories, there's only 2 that I can think of that you can get. And if I just unscrew, it's a little screw cap, a bit like the Motorola. If you look at the Motorola radios, you have a little side cap that just unscrews. So yeah, so the screw comes out like so. This cap comes off, and this is the contacts that you're left with. If I zoom in best I can, you can see the quality here is not that amazing. It looks pretty much like a little printed circuit board, which effectively all it is just a circuit board cut to size, 2 screws holding it in, and then the little gold-plated contacts or brass contacts there. And the only accessory that I've seen so far is like the fist microphone that you can get, or the little earpiece and throat mic. With regards to whether this device is waterproof or not, I would suggest it probably isn't. It does state somewhere. It does say somewhere that this radio probably is kind of okay to be out in sort of light showers, light rain, but not for long periods of time. And what they've done, they've put a little sealed cap to cover the USB charger sockets underneath. So you know, it's one of those things that you probably wouldn't want to take it outside. I wouldn't trust it in the rain, but if it did start to piddle down whilst you're using it, I don't think you need to be too concerned, as long as it's not too heavy, but try not to get it too wet. But so far, I've had great results on this. I've joined a few user groups, and I should be giving it further tests, and come this Friday, hopefully, there'll be another video where I'll be doing a bit of a collab video with someone else as well, so that's something to look forward to. Okay, so some technical specifications for this phone then, and I'm reading straight off the internet for this one. It's got 512 megabyte of RAM built in. The CPU actually is a Cortex A7 dual core processor, 1.2 gigahertz, 4 gigabyte ROM, 2.4 inch touch screen, micro USB, it's got Bluetooth as well, works on Wi-Fi, I forgot to mention that. If you wanted to use this like I do in the home as well, it will just connect to the Wi-Fi, just like your smartphone would, and then as soon as you go out and about it gets onto 3G or 2G if that's still in your area. Battery life, it reckons you get up to 16 hours on working time. On stand time you get about 96 hours. Yeah, I can go with that one. It's been very good battery life so far, even whilst been using it as a mobile phone. So that's worked out quite well. You know, it's one of those things that I'll continue to play with. And I'm interested in anyone else who's been using Zello. So if you've used Zello, or if you know of any other apps that I can download for this to give this a good try, please let me know. Willing to give it a try and hook up to anyone. Zello at the moment, really pleased with. There is that lag, that time delay. As you know, you've obviously witnessed it, but you probably know that yourselves anyway. There is a bit of a delay. And when you do press your PTT, you do have to wait for that confirmation beep. So it's not as quick and as instant as two-way radio. And one of the things about radios I like is the whole kind of preparedness aspect of if it hits the fan and being able to communicate with people. I don't normally like relying on third-party companies or applications such as mobile phones. If something really bad happened over here, some terrorist was to strike, one of the first things they do is to knock down the cell site, isn't it? If you remember back to 9/11, the first thing they did is to kill all communications in the area. And if that was to happen, then that would then render these as useless. So you wouldn't be able to use these or to rely on these in those sort of situations. Whereas two-way radios, not using a repeater but back to back, you know, VHF, UHF, whatever, they do give you that that coverage. But assuming nothing is going to happen and everything is fine in every day-to-day world, then this is absolutely fine. My username or my handle on this is MediaPhone23. So look out for me if you want to. Give me a shout. Give it a bit of a test. See what you think. And there you go. Right, okay. If you've got any questions, any comments, please stick them down below. And you'll get another video following very soon. So thanks for watching.